V10s are normally known for Formula One cars and R8s and Lamborghinis, there is one other V10 that sometimes isn't talked about and is sometimes forgotten. We came here to do a specific type of intro, but I saw this car at the car wash, and Shiraz, I just had to jump straight into it.
So yeah, this V10, I think people don't talk about it because some people are scared about it. There is a story with this V10 as we'll go through it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm lucky enough to own one of BMW's only V10s. Probably the only V10 that they'll ever make. Naturally aspirated, so it's just before those turbo motors came in.
Yeah. While Nogalunga at the back completes the job and gets us ready for the road, let's talk about this car and that engine. We're going to start with the styling. Before the M4 went viral, this car went viral because everybody complained about the styling in the photos.
Yeah, that's 100% correct. With BMW, there's been a few style designs. Even the M Coupe, the clown shoe, you know,
Yes.
that was another topic. We see that's a trend of BMW
I
and
think
their
they're trolling
designs.
people.
Yeah, with regards to BMW designs, I always feel that BMW designs are bold when they come out.
Yes.
But when they're going out of production, those designs now cling on to you and they look better when it was introduced.
Yeah.
So they age much better, you know, compared to the other mainstream cars. And I think that's where this car is. I mean, with Chris Bangle, he designed the 7 Series in this era, and it was a big talking point. But now if you look at it, yeah, it stands out, you know?
Yeah.
And the thing is, this car as it is today, it's about 20 years old.
Wow. Amazing, and that's the thing about cars that come out that are controversial when they are first designed. They age well. If you look at this car now, people universally respect this car in a different way.
100%. Firstly, because of that mighty V10 engine. You know, to see a car like this 20 years later still running, the V10 engine still going, despite what people think, okay, it's unreliable or this, but it just shows that if you keep your hand on the car properly, it will last.
So let's have a look inside and see what's going on inside the BMW M5 V10. Now, let's bear in mind that this car was 950 plus thousand when it was for sale back in 2005. This, of course, being a 2005 model. So it was a very, very expensive car, even by modern standards. Let's look at the steering wheel. You've got controls on the steering wheel over here. It doesn't include volume, which is a little confusing. I think, I'm still trying to figure out exactly what all of these buttons do. But you've got a little M badge here and almost everywhere to remind you what this is. What's fascinating as we move to the middle and center console over here is that you've got the power button, which is connected to that M button over there, but you can also separately control the DSC. DSC, people, in 2005, EDC, which is the electronic damper control system, and then you've got the gearbox speed settings over here for that gearbox. Now let's talk about that gearbox. Available in manual in North America, South Africa got the automated gearbox. Now this isn't an automatic gearbox, it's actually a manual gearbox that's got some workers inside there changing the gears for you. A pro tip that I got from a friend of mine, Nian, is that when you're changing gears while driving around, rather just breathe off the gas and then get back on the power again like you're changing with the manual gearbox. Not a bad gearbox per se, but I don't think it matches up with the big party trick on this car, which is of course that V10.
Incidentally, the car also took part in the Samola Hill climb this year, clinching third in its class and performing flawlessly.
So consider that the year is 2005 and you've got R1 million to spend. The BMW drops this. The BMW M5 V10. It doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound like a M5 should have that many cylinders, but it does. And the best way to experience those cylinders is to press that M button over there. take it all the way to about 8,000 RPM. Something like that. But because this is a private car, I'm going to slow things down a bit and tell you guys about the experience. So, what I'm seeing in front of me here, heads-up display. Again, technology that was not available at the time, at least not commonplace. Now, obviously, with it being V10, it's got 500 cc's per cylinder, which means that each one of those cylinders needs to be fed with fuel. So don't expect to be getting crazy good fuel consumption, but this car is not about fuel consumption. It's about driver enjoyment, but you've got space for the kids. Once you get used to the gearbox, then you can really enjoy that engine. After a brief chat with the owner, you've got to drive this car, in his opinion, in manual mode to get the most out of it and to look after that gearbox. Also, to look after the engine, he constantly checks to make sure that the oil levels are topped up, and you can actually do that through the system over here that BMW provides. You can see the oil levels, you can see the oil temperature. It's basically a full diagnostic system built into the car. It's got launch control, it's got various SMG drive logic modes, which means that you can set it all the way up to S6 where everything is turned off. That was the fuel buzzer, because after a couple of pulls, I've used up quite a bit of fuel. Although this car is standard, it's also Cape Town standard, which means it's got uprated springs, and also it's got an exhaust that's slightly tuned to make it very, very that. Oh my goodness me. Does that not sound like one of the best sounds in all of motoring? No wonder the V10 era in Formula One was as popular and as remembered and fondly remembered as it is. I haven't even spoken about the handling of this car, which is, even by modern standards, very, very good. I've always said that 90s motoring is peak motoring, and if that is true, then this is peak motoring plus about 15% VAT. It is over the top in many, many ways, including that V10 engine. But isn't that what engineering is supposed to be? Engineering is supposed to push the limits, take things to the next level, and pave the way for cars and engineers of the future. I think this car did exactly that, and although Chris Bangle gets a bit of a bad rep, I think he can rest easy knowing that he certainly created a future classic.